What's up, you guys? Oh my god. First of all, this is what's up. My mic finally came. I ordered a mic. I said I was gonna do it and I delivered. The sound quality is about to go way up, trust. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy this came. Let's get this on first and hear the difference. It's just like my old mic. And it comes with a little thing. This is so cool. I'm so excited. You guys really just don't know. It's crazy too because I found the cord for my old mic and the adapter, because you know how iPhones don't have the little, like, the jack anymore, so you have to use this. So I found this and I found the cord for my old mic, but no mic. I'm convinced that it just got up and walked away, like, honestly. I even found this part. Like, this came with it, but I found my old one. But just no mic. It's so weird. It's the craziest thing ever. Alright, are you guys ready? This side goes in the phone. This side goes in the mic. Sorry, had to read the instructions. Okay, it's plugged in. I hope it sounds better, honestly. I'm not going to know until the end of this video because I'm not going to stop or listen to it. But fingers crossed, it sounds a lot better. I tried. I hope it sounds better. Next goal is to get an SD card so that I can start filming on my camera so that the video quality is a lot better. But as of right now, hopefully we have better sound quality. Alright, let's get into this video. Hello, my name is Ashley and welcome to this beautiful channel of mine. If you are returning, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is long overdue. I know it's been like 2 weeks since I posted anything, but you guys, I had COVID. Like, I really had COVID-19. It was no joke. It was so scary. Like, I'm laughing about it now because I'm one of those people who didn't believe in it. Like, obviously, I know it's a virus, but I didn't think that it was like, well, I still have the same opinion towards it. I don't think it's like that serious of a virus. I think it's like the flu. Like, I think it's just a regular virus. So I was like really surprised when I got it because, I don't know, I had all these mixed emotions. I thought I was gonna die because the news and everybody else is like, you're gonna die. And I'm like, this virus is not that serious. And then going through it, it actually really wasn't that serious. Like, it was scary, like not being able to breathe at one point, or like having like tightness of breath. I don't know how to say it. Like, when you feel like there's something sitting on your chest. I had that one day out of the whole time I had the virus, and that was like the scariest part. But overall, it was like not that serious and not that scary, but I was kind of scared because of the media. But anyway, I really had COVID and it was a mess. Like, if you guys follow me on Snapchat, I posted throughout my whole experience of it, and I had the same energy that I have right now. I was like laughing and trying to keep a high spirit because there were times where I was really scared, but honestly, like, I know I keep saying it, it's not that serious of a virus. Like, definitely my heart goes out to all the people that have lost people to the virus, and like, my heart and prayers go out to the people who currently have the virus, but it will pass. Like, you will get better, and you will get better. I'm not even going to talk about it because it's going to get all like, oh my god, like blah blah blah, but it's not that serious. You just gotta fight it and be strong. But yeah, I had the virus. It was an experience. Glad I don't have it anymore, but it's definitely an experience. Okay, let's get into this video. So this one was supposed to be about like a life update, how I'm living. A lot of people watching this are watching from like, are people that I know from high school or like from like my youth. So I'm gonna start from like right after high school, because like if you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, then you know how I've been living or whatever. But I'm gonna start right after high school. So I graduated high school in 2017. That fall, I went to Santa Monica College. I like applied and got in Santa Monica or whatever. It's not a hard school to get into. So I went to Santa Monica College, and I did not want to go to school. I didn't want to have any parts of college. I did not want to be in school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was all over the place. It's just like, I don't want to be in school. I hated high school. I don't want to go to college. So college was not that eventful. I was taking 8 a.m. classes in Santa Monica, and I live in LA, and I was not driving back then. I did not have a car. So I would have to wake up at 5 in the morning and try to barely get to class on time at 8 in the morning from LA to Santa Monica, taking the, what was it? The Expo line. I cannot think of that to save my soul. I had to take the Expo line at 5 in the morning, like 3 days out of the week to try to get, or 2 days out of the week. Was it 3? I don't know. I had to take the Expo line a couple days out of the week at 5 in the morning to get to class at 8, or to still get there late. And I really just hated it. It was too much. And I took a full load, like the whole 12 units or whatever, and I could not stand being in school. I hated it. So some days I just would not go. I would play hooky with my best friend, Shevin at the time. We would just go to the beach, or like ride our skateboards at the beach, or go to 3rd Street Promenade or whatever. But I would ditch class for her sometimes, because it was like, I really just didn't want to be there. And it's like, as an adult, it's like, you can decide that you're not going to go to school. So I was deciding that. Then I eventually applied for Universal Studios, because I used to like go up there all the time in high school. So I was like, might as well work up here. It's a train ride away too, you know, just the red line. So might as well. So then I started working at Universal for Horror Nights in 2017. Amazing experience. I loved it. Like the only time I actually enjoyed working at Universal. So I was working there, and then it started like to conflict my college schedule. I cannot speak sometimes, sorry. It started to mess with my college schedule, because I would have class on Thursdays and on Mondays, and I would be working overnight Thursdays and Mondays, or like Thursday through Sunday. I would work overnight because I was working Horror Nights, and it's like from 6 in the evening to 2 in the morning. So I would be working overnight, and some days I'd be too exhausted to like get up on Monday, because that's when I would have my 8 a.m. class. So I'd be too exhausted to wake up and get on the train at 5 in the morning, because I just got off at 2 and I barely got home at 3 because I'm on the bus and the train. So I would only have like 2 hours of sleep. So I would completely stop going to that class eventually, because it was just too much. And then on Thursdays, I would have to leave class early sometimes to rush to get to Universal. And it wouldn't even be for work. A lot of the time, it would just be because some of my coworkers wanted to go into the theme park before we went to work. So it's like, I don't want to be at school anyway. Might as well go up here. It's so irresponsible. But to make a long story short, I ended up dropping out of college that semester, 2017 fall, because I actually was like enjoying work more than going to school. And I was like, I could do this for a little while. I could work. Like, this is not that big of a deal, and like college sucks anyway. I don't know what I want to do yet, so it doesn't make sense for me to waste this time and money when I could be making money and not really wasting as much time, because I'm still young or whatever. So I know, 18-year-olds, right? So I ended up dropping out, working, and then after Horror Nights, I reapplied to Universal. I wasn't going to, but I did, because like one of my coworkers was like insisting that I do, and I got rehired. That was an experience. I hated working there those next 2 years, but I ended up working there part-time still. And then I met the ex-love of my life towards the end of Horror Nights, and he kind of convinced me to go back to school. Not convinced me, but like my mom and his mom were telling me to go back, and he started blackmailing me, telling me he wasn't going to hang out with me unless I re-enrolled in school. So I went to LACC, or LA City College. I enrolled there and got in, because community college. And I started taking classes again. Had no idea what I wanted to do, but I wanted to put like some colors in my hair, because like back in high school I used to always put color in my hair. And I remember putting colors in my hair, and then somebody told me I remind them of like a preschool teacher, and I was like, I could do preschool. I mean, kids aren't that hard to entertain, and like I'm a big kid myself, so I'm like, I would definitely get along with a bunch of little kids and just like have I don't know, have fun all day just making nonsense and playing dress up and stuff like that. So I started taking child development classes, and I'm actually like a couple classes away from being able to become a preschool teacher, but that fell through because I went to the LACC to become a nutritionist, but I started, I don't know, the whole colors and somebody telling me to do the preschool. I went a different direction, but I did take like nutrition classes for children as well. And that made me realize, like, I definitely want to do nutrition. I cannot sit up in a room all day with a bunch of little kids, like, screaming or having, like, all their germs because, oh my God, kids are so germy. Like, they get so many diseases as kids that you have to, like, learn about that it's ridiculous. And, like, nobody talks about it. Like, it's so gross. And then it's like, you're always sick. They were talking about how preschool teachers always get sick. You have to be ready or be okay with always being sick. This is before coronavirus. And I'm just like, no, thank you. Like, I don't want to be all germy and nasty with little kids. They don't know how to, like, wash their hands properly. Like, I had to do a whole project on, like, teaching kids how to wash their hands. And I'm like, kids still don't wash their hands right after that. I'm good. I can't do preschool. Sorry. Not for me. So, fast forward, that was the spring of 2018. So after that, since I knew what I wanted to do, like something in nutrition, I just hit the ground running. I started taking classes, like full loads every semester. So from that spring, I went right into the summer, and I took 4 classes. I think you're only supposed to take like 2 or something crazy, but I took 4 because I'm like, I'm way behind. All the people that I went to high school with are going to be graduating in 21, and I'm trying to be on that bandwagon too because I don't know, I'm still trying to keep up with people I don't even talk to anymore. But that was the life I was living. So I took 4 classes that summer. I took, I think, 18 or 19 units that fall of 2018. I took 2 more classes that winter. I had to make up my English classes, but English isn't a hard subject. So I was like, I could take these during like the 5-week courses because I'm going to like just breeze right through them. So then that spring, I took another like 18 units or however many like the max is, because I was just like, I'm going to graduate with my high school class. Like that's it. I'm going to. But then that summer, I was kind of exhausted. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was just, I was burning out. I didn't take any of my science classes between like the whole like year that I went straight. Like the spring, summer, fall, winter, spring again. Those 5 semesters. I didn't take any of my science classes, so I was trying to take them that summer of 2019, and like it was hot. The class was packed. There were hardly, like, you had to be a part of an extra group, and it was just, the class was a mess. It was just too much going on, and I'm like, I'm not about to be in this crowded class, barely learn anything, and be the 5th member of a 4-person group. And it was, I'm telling you, it was too much, way too much. So I was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done. I'm not doing this. Then I dropped the class, and I dropped my other science class because I was like, I need a break. I've been going to school nonstop. I'm exhausted. I don't even like school like that. I'm going to take a break. So then I took a break that summer, and then I was planning to go back the fall of 2019. But then I was telling my ex about how I don't want to go to school. You don't need school. Like, who needs school? I can do this stuff in my sleep. And being the kind of energy that we both had, he's like, don't go to school, YOLO. So then I did not enroll in school in 2019 fall. I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna go to school, I'm gonna work. I was working at Universal still. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to work anymore. I'm really good at making candles. I'm on top of my game. Like, I could sell these candles and like all this stuff. Or I don't even think I was selling candles yet. I think I was just like, I don't want to work. Like, I don't want to work. I'm too pretty to work. I need to be at home cleaning because I have this 1960s mentality sometimes, and it's really not healthy. But like, don't be like me. Be better than me. But I was just like, I don't want to work. So then he's like, don't work. Stay home. And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, just make sure the house is clean and, you know, you're making my lunch or whatever. And I'm like, say less. That's not hard. Netflix all day, Hulu all day. All I have to do is wake up and make breakfast or make lunch and dinner and clean. What? Who's gonna say no to that? So I was a stay-at-home wife without kids for like towards the end of 2019. You know what? I think I was still working. I was definitely still working. I was working all the way up until November because I was like, I had an incident at work where they were like kind of racist to me that I'm going to make a video about later. But I had an incident at work, and then I was like telling my ex like, yo, they don't treat me right here. They don't deserve me. And he's like, quit. Who cares? And I'm like, yeah, I could quit. And then I quit, and then the whole rest of the whole like stay-at-home wife stuff started happening in November. But then I realized I'm not built for that kind of life, and I really don't, that's not for me. I don't enjoy that. Like, I can't just sit up at the house and do nothing. It literally irritates me. Like, I'll get mad or depressed. So started looking for a job again, and then I was working at Chipotle for a little bit. But then Chipotle is weird. Like, they don't even wear name tags. I didn't know anybody's name when I was working there. I still don't know anybody's name. Like, they really don't use name tags or any of that. And I was just like, on top of them just being a mess, and they're not the cleanest place. That's a whole nother video though. But they're not as clean as they say they are, or how they practice. Like, when that whole salmonella or whatever virus they had going on, like where everybody was getting sick, I think the E. coli or something, whatever it was, I'm surprised it didn't happen again. I'm gonna just say it like that, but that's a whole nother video. So I stopped showing up to Chipotle. On top of their schedule just not being organized at all. Like, I would have to call to work to see when I was working. I'm just like, what kind of place has you call in to see whether or not you're working? So there were a bunch of times where I was scheduled and they had to call me like hours later and say, hey, are you coming in to work? And I'm like, hey, didn't even know I was working. Like, you guys don't tell me my schedule. So I quit there, and then I started working at Target. And Target was an experience too. It's a short story, but I'm not gonna say it here. But make a long story short, I quit Target, and then 2020 or 2019 still, that December, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make some candles because I wanted to make like lotions and body scrubs because I'm like kind of good at it or whatever. I wanted to do that, so then I started telling my ex about how, you know, I'm really creative and I want to make all these products and sell them. I want to start my own business, but I don't have money because I quit my job and I've been like, you know, like so he like helped me buy a lot of like some candle supplies because he's like, okay, what do you want to make first? And I'm like, candles are the cheapest thing I can make. I'm probably going to be really great at it, and I can make a lot of money selling candles, which will fuel the rest of my business, and I can make a bunch of other stuff. So then he bought like some candle supplies and we made candles. And like the first night I was so amazed because I was just like, this is really not hard and it's so cool and it's just amazing. So then I hit the ground running again, and I was like going beast mode on these candles. His mom bought a whole bunch for her co-workers and like her family and everything. I was really excited because I'm like, this could really take off, but I also didn't want to test the candles either because I was like, if they're bad, you know, I don't want to know they're bad, even though it's a terrible mindset to have when you're going into a business because you need trial and error, and I did not do that. So I'm pretty sure the candles that I sold his mom were really bad, and I promise I would not have done that on purpose, but I just have this thing about failing. I don't like to fail. But anyway, that going into 2020, I still wasn't working, but I started applying to places because I was like, I'm tired of this man paying for all the stuff and having all the leverage in my business. Because it's not that he was being too much, but it's just like, you got to take in other people's opinions when they're like supporting you financially, and I don't like other people's opinions all the time. I like doing stuff my way. So I was like, I'm gonna get a job so that I can support my business, so that I don't have to like answer to anybody or like, you know, like tell anybody why I'm buying this or how much this was or anything like that. Like being able to swipe a card and not have to worry about the price. It's just how I live. So I applied to In-N-Out, but during that time while I was waiting for like the job process, whatever, to go through, I was selling candles, and I actually went downtown for Valentine's Day, and I set up a table at like 6 in the evening. Whole nother story. Got like 3 videos waiting for you guys. But I went downtown and I sold candles for Valentine's Day, and I made a pretty penny, but it's just on myself. But of course, Corona. But like before Corona, I ended up getting the job at In-N-Out after Valentine's Day, so I started working at In-N-Out. Hated it. I'm not made to work for other people, but started working at In-N-Out, and I wasn't even thinking about school. Like, I wasn't thinking about going back. I was just like, I'm gonna just work and work and work till I start my business. Who cares? But it's really insane because I think I'm at 50. I think 49 units. I think I'm at 49 units. So I literally only need 11 more to to transfer or to get my AA, but to transfer as well. And or I need 63 to graduate and 60 to transfer. So it didn't make sense for me not to go back to school because I'm like almost there. But I was just like, I'm not going back. I'm just gonna start my business. I'm gonna prove to my mother, to my college, to society that you do not need a college degree to to be successful in life, because there's so many people out there that don't have degrees. So that was my whole mindset, and I started working at In-N-Out. Like I said, hated it. Then Corona kicked in, and literally In-N-Out was like they stopped scheduling me, and they were like, oh, we're gonna pay you 80% of your salary, which they didn't. So then I applied for unemployment because I was like still trying to live like a bougie lifestyle on on zero income. So I'm like, I need unemployment. I worked at Universal for 2 years, thank God. That really had my back. And plus that extra $600 a month, or a check that they were giving. But I tell you, I was living bougie. Oh my goodness. It wasn't even bougie because that's not considered bougie to me, but I'm like, just the fact that I'm getting paid all this extra money and not doing anything, it was just like hair flip, you know, like. But yeah, I got engaged. It was like the second time, but the first official time. Because there was nothing else to do, and like our relationship, I started kind of causing drama in it, or I started pointing out a lot of flaws in our relationship because there was nothing else to do and we didn't have anywhere to go to distract me from pointing out those flaws. I started pointing them out. So as I started making waves in the relationship, my ex was like, yo, let's just go get married, let's do something, because you're bored, you're clearly bored, so let's go do something. So we went and got a ring, and I got engaged. Sorry, I'm really cold. It's really chilly. Got engaged, and then shortly after that, my mom started offering us like to move into the place behind her, because she has an apartment behind her house, but she had a tenant there, and the tenant like started having issues, so like she left and she needed somebody to rent it out. She figured since we were paying rent to live in her house, it would probably be a good idea for us to like rent an actual apartment away from her, because her and my ex would bump heads a lot because he's kind of disrespectful and she's super old school, so it was just not a pretty picture. So she offered to like let us live in the place behind her and pay rent and everything. But I wanted to fix it up because it was like a pigsty and it just looked disgusting to me. And I'm like, I like to live a certain way, so I don't care how much money it costs. I will pay to fix it up. But she allowed us to do that. She told us we could take out half of the rent that we'd be paying her, and we could put it into the upstairs, is what I call it, because it's like an upstairs apartment. So she said we could put the other half of the rent into the place and then just pay her like the difference, since like we'd be fixing it up, but it's technically hers. So it's like technically whatever rent money we would be paying her, she would have been putting up here anyway. So we were like just cutting out the middleman. So we started fixing it up. I was fixing it up with my money, like my unemployment, because he was paying the rent and the other bills that we had. So I would pay that, and then in July, I started working as a caregiver because In-N-Out stopped giving me hours, and like unemployment was cool, but I was like, I could get a lot more done if I had a full paycheck, you know? So my mom's company was hiring, and I applied, and I got hired through a different branch, but it's like the same company. And I started working as a caregiver for a lady with disabilities, and I wasn't even thinking about going back to school. Like all of 2020, I was just like, I'm not going back to school. Towards the end, I started thinking about it, like towards fall, I was like, I'm gonna go back to school. But then my ex was going to go back to school, and we only had one computer. I was like, it doesn't make sense to buy another computer, so you could just go to school and I'll just wait till next semester. But then he ended up dropping his classes after the semester started because he was like, oh, I don't like doing this, I need to be hands-on, and it was too late for me to re-enroll in my classes, so we both ended up not going 2020 fall. But I was working full-time as a caregiver, so it didn't really matter to me, I guess, because I was like, at least I have a full check coming in. It was like the first time I've ever worked full-time, and I currently still do that now, with the exception of the past 2 weeks that I had Corona. That's like the only time that I haven't been at work, but for the most part I've been working like full-time, overtime, like just like crazy. Yeah, I started working there in July, didn't go back to school, or dropped all my classes in August because he was going to school. He dropped his classes in like, I think September, so neither one of us were able to go back to school. And then around September we broke up because of all the issues, and I actually made a video about it. It's why I'm single. It's the video right before this one, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. But broke up in September, went through a major depression till the end of the year, till December, and then January, here we are now. I'm re-enrolled in school. I'm currently taking a stats class. I'm planning to take my science classes in the spring. Sorry, I had a brain fart. I'm taking my science classes in the spring, and then from there, hopefully, I think I have one more class to take in the fall, my major class, and then I can transfer. I'm planning to transfer to Cal State LA, but we'll see where it goes. But at the moment, I'm currently in school, working full-time. I'm still working on the upstairs, paying for it out of pocket. The only difference now is I'm paying rent now on top of like the renovations, which isn't bad. It's just like an adjustment, but I've definitely adjusted. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Been paying rent for the past like 4 months now, so it's pretty chilled. I'm not complaining. Just complaining about like how expensive it is, like renovating. Like, materials are just so expensive, but you know, it's a life lesson. Like, I'm gonna have to learn how to do this if I ever have a house one day anyway, so I mean, it's cool to learn it now. I'm currently also hands-on with the renovation. I'm doing a lot of the renovating myself because like my mom knows how to do this kind of work because she learned it from my grandpa or whatever, so it's good that I learned that as well, like learn the price of the material as well as how to actually do the renovating, because like one day I'm gonna be building houses and I need to learn how to do this stuff now. So but yeah, I'm currently doing that, and yeah, that's pretty much how life has been treating me. I'm just chilling right now at this point, just going with the flow. Hopefully school works out. I'm not that many units away from graduating, which is cool, but I still have like the whole 2 years in university to go, which I'm not looking forward to, but I mean, I'm just trying to get it out of the way now. I'm currently going to school for nutritional science. Yeah, that's what life has been like for me for the past 4 years. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, definitely let me know. I'll make a video about it, or I can just like message you and let you know like directly, because I don't care. I feel like giving you guys advice or telling you guys my life experiences help you guys out, or help somebody you know out, like in some way or another, because it's like the mistakes that I've made or the things that I've been through could definitely teach somebody or help somebody not go through them, or help somebody get out of them that's currently going through them. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything, hit me up. If I can't give you advice on it, then we could just talk about it. You could just vent. I don't know. Like, we'll figure something out, though. I love problem solving. And yeah, I don't know what else has been going on. But that's pretty much it, I guess. I'm definitely going to make more videos about like certain topics that I did go over in this video that I didn't like talk about too in-depthly. So definitely look out for that video, and you know, if you enjoyed this one, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment or follow me on social media, whatever your heart desires. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, so much for like just even clicking on it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed weekend, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your month, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.